When business gets tough, most people panic, go quiet, and cut back on LinkedIn. But in truth, that's the worst possible thing that you could do right now. When business gets tough, the tough get LinkedIning. G'day everyone, it's Coach Michelle J. Raymond, your trusted guide for building your brand and your business on LinkedIn. And shout out to the listeners that picked up on my dated reference in the intro. Do you remember the song, When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Get Going? Yep, I'm showing my age. Shout out to the Gen X's and beyond. That is a song that really stood out for me when I was thinking about planning this episode, because I appreciate right now that it feels really tough on LinkedIn. And I'm also hearing and experiencing for myself that it is tough in business. There aren't as many opportunities flying around for reasons that are probably well and truly out of our controls. And for me, it has been a bit of a mind game to try and not want to throw in the towel and throw this whole LinkedIn thing away, just like everybody else. Like, I'm human at the end of the day. And the thing that kind of just keeps coming back to me is that I know deep in my heart that if I show up and do the work, then it is going to be me that is winning those opportunities out there. And there might be fewer available or reduced budgets, but I'm going to be added onto those shortlists, not the person who becomes invisible. So if you're someone that has thrown your hands in the air, walked away and given up, then I really want you to listen all the way to the end of this episode, because we've got to talk about this, especially if you have identified that your target audience is on LinkedIn. So we're going to go through what's going on right now, and more importantly, what do I think that you can be doing on LinkedIn to win the lion's share of opportunities that are out there. Let's have a quick reality check. The world is a pretty crazy place. Financially, I think people are struggling in lots of different ways. There's a lot of uncertainty out in the world, and I think people are scaling back their teams or their budgets, and that's the reality that we're kind of living in right now. What I see then is a lot of people and clients that reach out to me are the people that are saying, you know what, I don't know that this is for me. I think LinkedIn's a waste of time. I'm not getting the opportunities like I used to. Therefore, LinkedIn is broken. And I actually don't think that it's LinkedIn is broken in this particular case. I think that there's just market conditions that are impacting what's going on the platform. Now, I experience this in my own business. Typically what happens is, while the rest of the world goes on their summer vacations, my inquiries drop off because a lot of the work I do is with overseas markets in Europe and the US. And I expect that by this time of year, things normally pick up. And they're just not in the same way that they have historically. I have been seeing posts from people who have had their own business for quite some time, who are now taking roles in corporate land so that they've got that comfort and security that comes with a regular paycheck. So I can see the market conditions are tough. But the thing that I want to remind people of is that LinkedIn is still the platform where people come to do business. We still have B2B buyers and decision makers scrolling, researching, looking for information. And from that perspective, it's important that we stay top of mind so that they don't forget about us. Because as they create their shortlist, remember, everyone in the world seems to have a list of 3 companies when they go to get quotes quite often. Are you going to be on that list of 3? And if you're invisible or out of mind because people can't recall the last time that they ever saw you or heard from your brand, then you're not going to make it onto that shortlist. So of course it becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy where you're out of mind, you don't get on the list, you then blame LinkedIn because your business isn't growing, when really what's happening is you've just disappeared out of people's minds. And I actually think it's those that are willing to keep showing up and do the work consistently, regardless of the shakeup that's going on LinkedIn or in the world. It's those people who are top of mind, who are being included in those buying decisions, who are being shortlisted on those lists of businesses that companies will potentially work with. And I actually think that it's those people who are not necessarily the best at what they do, but they show up consistently, that are winning more and more. So my question to you is, are you showing up enough on LinkedIn? Or are you hiding in the shadows, sitting on the bench, waiting for the world to change, the conditions of the market to change, so that you'll then get active when times are easier? Now, even as I say that out loud, I'm sure that many of you are going, oh, Michelle, I don't really do that. Really? Because I have recently. I think there's a part of me that was almost convinced, because of all the content that's out there on LinkedIn, that it's a time that it's all too hard. My content's not getting seen by as many people. It's all doom and gloom, blah, 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 blah. And I nearly bought into that. I've been doing this for such a long time on LinkedIn. I should know better. I had a career in B2B sales for 20 years where I have worked through times like this for other people. And I know the solution is to get up and keep going and be proactive and take things into my own hands. I'm going to give you your tough times on LinkedIn plan, your habits that you're going to build in 15 minutes a day to make sure that you stay top of mind with the buyers that are out there right now that do have opportunities, so that your competitors don't steal them away from you. Let's get into your tough times on LinkedIn plan. I want you to give me 15 minutes a day. That is all I am asking for. This is not something where intensity and blowing out for hours and hours is going to give you better results. But with that 15 minutes, I want it in your calendar, making sure you set reminders and you keep yourself accountable to show up and do the work. Can we do that? Amazing. Now that you've got that there, what are you going to do in those 15 minutes? You are going to be proactive and take steps. One, to train the algorithm, like we talked about in last week's episode. But number two, to make sure that the activity that you'll take aligns with your business goals, that it is getting you towards where you are headed and you are taking strategic actions. So what can you be doing? Obviously, posting, commenting, and sending direct messages are the three main things. And I did an episode on this recently on how to do them well and what proportions. So go back and listen to that if you want more detail. But the fun fact is, the more you can comment, get a post done, and send direct messages to stay top of mind, that's kind of the trifecta of activities that you need to do within that 15 minutes. If you can smash it out and get more done, even better. There's no limits. For those of you who are going, but Michelle said I can only do 15 minutes. You've got more time, put it in. But I just don't want this to be something that is so overwhelming that you never get around to actually doing it. Repeat, consistency will beat intensity, especially when what we're looking at is over the long term, not just something that you do for the next week or two. This is ongoing forever and ever and ever. And it is these growth habits that will have a bigger impact on your business growth on LinkedIn than any short bursts of activity. Being proactive, getting out there, getting active, taking things into your own hands, and not just sitting on the sidelines is how you are going to win at LinkedIn. And I know it seems obvious, right? I talk about this stuff all the time on every podcast, pretty much for the last few years. But I think right now, if your mindset is LinkedIn is broken, LinkedIn doesn't work for you, there's no opportunities out there, you need to flick that switch, get your head back in the game, and start winning those opportunities. Because when you take things into your own hands and don't give up, I know that this can happen for you. And if it is happening when you get back in there, please let me know about your successes. I want to cheer you guys on, especially the people that listen to the episodes, take the action and get the wins. Will you share those with me? I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.